I'm Elizabeth Warburton and welcome to Season 3 of Property Elevator. In Season 2, we saw many property professionals face the angels to try and secure that all-important funding for their property projects. And this year, we're back for more. Now, we've seen over the last year just how important it is to have your money working for you. With inflation rising and bank interest levels at their lowest in years, it's never been more important to put your money to good use. This is why so many people turn to property investing. It's not easy though. You often need both the finance and the knowledge to take that deal over the line. And that's where our angels fly down to help you. In this show, we give property professionals the chance to pitch their deals to our 5 seasoned property investors. Helen Chorley, John Howard, Paul Mahoney, Ranjan Bhattacharya and Nicholas Wallwork, or who we call our property investment angels. These developers have the chance to walk away with the backing of someone who can bring both the finance and experience to their deal. You're watching Property Elevator.
Hi, I'm John Howard. I've been a property developer and investor for 40 years, and during that time I've bought and sold in the region of 4,000 properties.
My name's Paul Mahoney. I'm a property investor. I also founded Nova Financial Group, which is a property investment advisory company.
My name's Helen Chorley. I'm a professional property investor. I'm also a co-founder of the Property Sisters UK community, supporting women and SME developers in the industry.
My name's Nicholas Wallwork. I'm an investor, developer and owner of propertyforum.com and the development brand Red Brick.
My name is Ranjan Bhattacharya. I'm a property entrepreneur, an investor and developer for the last 30 years. My hard-earned cash, I'll give it to you guys.
Debatable.
Where does it go?
What sort of profit are you making on those 5 units?
You've got to ask yourself though, but you say no to everything, so
Well, in this case
you
it
might
would
say
be
no to
yes.
yourself. Oh, will it?
Yeah.
And you're asking for a 100 grand loan. That's a big ask.
And with the loan, is there any security at all?
I think you guys are barking up the wrong tree.
I'm going to make you an offer, but you're probably not going to like it.
Welcome to episode 2. Let's see who our first pitch of the day is. Jack, welcome to Property Elevator.
Thank you. Yeah.
Where have you travelled from today?
Romford in
Okay.
Essex. Yeah.
Okay, and so tell us a little bit about the deal that you've brought for the Angels.
We run a rent-to-service accommodation business,
Okay,
so we're looking for an investment to grow our business, really.
okay, and so where is the deal? Is it in Essex as well?
So no, it's we run the business in Brighton.
Okay.
So we're looking to expand and get more properties in and around Brighton.
Really good at the moment for everybody wanting staycations
Yeah, it's
and
timed perfectly. Really,
seaside
yeah.
town. Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
exciting.
Well, we've got Jack coming in now, and Jack's doing a rent-to-rent from what I can understand, and looking for some money for his company. Hi Jack, thank
Hi.
you very much for coming in today to see us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and about what you've brought us today, deal-wise, please?
Today we're asking for a £100,000 investment to basically be used as working capital to help fast-track the growth of our business. We formed a business in July last year, comprised of 3 directors, myself and 2 others. We're full-time employed in the construction industry. After researching the different strategies, we narrowed down that service accommodation was what we wanted to look at. So once we narrowed that down, we went into researching the different areas across the country, looking at demand and using some analytical tools that we looked at, and decided on Brighton as kind of an area we really wanted to focus on. We went into kind of actually looking at trying to obtain some rent-to-service accommodation deals. It took us a few months, so say the end of April, we got our first deal. It was a 2-bed apartment right in the centre of Brighton.
I've got a question. So you're all full-time employed. So who's going to manage the
So,
manage this business?
Early on in the business, that was kind of a question we had. So we employed pretty much straight away a property manager.
Okay.
So she's full time with us. So she's on the ground and she can be reactive to the different problems that occur on a day-to-day basis with the guests and stuff like that. So yeah, that's
okay. So you have a dedicated member of staff for
yeah,
this.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're all in construction at the moment, so clearly you know about property, you know the ups and downs.
Yeah.
But why not take on a development project? Why go for service accommodation?
We wanted something to build to that point.
Okay.
I think we wanted to set up a business and then start cash flowing money to build our pot to eventually 2, 3, 5 years down the line go into development.
That's the long-term goal.
So that was like the long-term goal, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got one rent-to-rent at the moment.
No, we've got 5.
5 rent-to-rent at the moment, 1 full-time manager. You're looking for £100,000 today. So if I give you £100,000 of my hard-earned money, what are you going to spend that on right now?
If you don't mind me saying.
No, I'm just trying to get my head around it because a lot of the time people are pitching for projects where there is actually an asset there.
I appreciate it.
So what I'm trying to, and there's freehold property and all the rest of it. So my hard-earned cash, I'll give it to you guys.
Debatable.
Where does it go?
I've done some figures in the back of what we look at, how much it costs us to onboard a property. Ultimately, the number one is get more properties. That's what we'll be doing, putting the right people in place to do that. For the next 12 months, we'll be looking at a minimum of 20 properties.
To tell you the truth, that was one of the things that concerned me, whether some of that money is going to go into setting up an office, it says, getting an office address,
when I say office, it's not, it'll be a desk in a corner. That's not what we need.
It's your sort of office, Ranjan.
Yeah, we need a warehouse
sort of
and
it's not an office in the Shard like yours, Ranjan.
No, it's like yeah.
Four-storey penthouses.
Sensible. Might be your lucky day. I've got 24, 28 flats in Brighton.
Really?
And I'm a bit of a dinosaur landlord, so I've just rented them out short old. And I appreciate I've got to sweat my assets more going forward. So just to give me an idea of the sort of money you can pay a landlord. If I gave you a newly refurbished 3-bedroom flat in central Brighton, not the best part of central Brighton, but central Brighton, what sort of return would I get a month from you?
We're paying between £1,800 a month to £2,000 a month for that kind of property.
Nothing I've got's prime set into my life, sadly, but but it's not too bad. Okay, so that gives me an idea.
What do you get now, John?
I'm embarrassed to say I don't know what I get really, but
Is
it's
that
bad.
about market rent you're paying?
We are pretty much paying near enough market rent. Yeah, might get £100 less.
So I'm getting about 1,100. I think roughly about £1,100 for a newly refurbished 3-bedroom flat, which doesn't sound it's enough, does it? I need to sharpen up.
I've got a couple of questions.
We'll take it for that.
So, Jack, with your current company structure, there's 3 of you. Do you own it a third each?
Yes, yeah.
And so you've got 5 units now. What sort of profit are you making on those 5 units?
We had our first full month last month, and we achieved just over £900 after all our expenses.
I'm interested to know why you didn't just go. I mean, you're obviously, bright, sharp guy. And I'm sure your partners are similar to you. Everyone mixes with the same type of people. That's why I'm friends with all these angels here. However, I'm not quite understand why you just don't go straight into development. Although it's it can be lucrative. I'm not saying it can't be.
Yeah.
Naturally, you're a contractor. Construction is your thing, and people like me, we're looking for people like you to joint venture with going forward. So I'm a little bit surprised that you've gone into this, and there's 3 of you, which means that everything is diluted really. And if you're looking for another investor, that's potentially 4 people.
Yeah,
it's a lot coming out of the pot, isn't it?
So I'm just a bit concerned about, because there's a lot of upfront costs. You've got to set up these properties, furniture, and some redeck and all of that.
It works out about.
What about mortgage approval of the person that actually owns the property?
Yeah, they have to, or the freeholder has to agreed to that, yeah, that is a thing.
So that's a freeholder, but then that's another point in obviously leasehold
blocks,
apartments.
yeah.
But the mortgage holder, what are the mortgage holders' attitudes to this? Because this isn't a standard AST.
It's a commercial lease agreement that we sign with, either use our own one or if it's through an agent, that we use their company let agreement. So
what due diligence are you doing to check that the landlord you've signed that contract with has got permission from his mortgage company?
That's my question.
Okay, so the 5 we've got at the minute, they own them outright. So
okay, well, they're like John then.
It's not been.
I wish I do own the freehold to that block,
yeah.
So that wouldn't be a problem for me.
You've got to ask yourself though, but you say no to everything, so.
Well, in this case,
you
it'll
might
be
say
yes.
no to yourself. Oh, will it? Okay.
Yeah. And what is there an opportunity of investing into your company?
Yeah, a loan's really, none of us want to sort of lend money to you. When are we going to get it back? It's very unsecured.
I think if you were coming in here, and you might well say yes to the question, but if you say, well, there are shares available within that company, if the investor puts in the money, then I know there's one person at least one person, one angel at least, I think would be very interested in that probably.
Ideally, it would be a cash, but we'd definitely be open to investment into the business.
I mean, if we look at the loan option, you're currently on track to do about 50 grand profit this year without growth, but we can't assume growth, and you're asking for 100 grand loan. That's a big ask just on interest rate.
We're obviously on track. We've got another 3 coming on now, so it's like 7. We are kind of growing as we go.
My concern is that there's a lot of people in this market. Brighton's a competitive market.
It is, yeah.
What makes you think you can do it better than everyone else out there trying to do it as well?
Yeah, there is people doing it in Brighton, but if you look at some of the images of our places, we're really aiming for the high end. All our first thing we do is we've got interior design team that comes in and designs it all for us, and we go through that process with them.
They are beautiful, you're right, but what I'm hearing is more cost.
We work it on a cash flow basis, because we lease the furniture over a 3-year period. Okay. So our upfront costs are £2,300 for a 2-bed place, and we get it to this kind of standard.
And with the loan, is there any security at all?
In terms of guaranteeing?
As in personal guarantees above your company?
Yeah. I'm not sure the company would be able to guarantee it that way, but personally, potentially, yeah.
Where are you based, Jack? You personally?
I'm based in Essex, Romford.
Are you solely focused on Brighton as a location?
We are at the minute, because we want to iron out all the issues and really kind of lock it down so we know exactly what we're doing. Yeah. And then take that. Well, we are looking into different areas. We've kind of highlighted Bristol as an area that we quite fancy maybe next.
My thinking is we've already got 20 short-term lets in Birmingham, and we've got 50 coming online in the next couple of weeks in Manchester. Okay. So I could potentially plug you into them.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Which is kind of the only thing that interests me about this proposition. But I don't know if that works.
Yeah, as it stands, the deal for me, kind of the loan over 2 years, that's not attractive enough an interest rate for me, so I won't be investing today, but thank you.
That's fine, yeah.
I'm very happy to give you some properties. I might have some in Ipswich as well, nice ones on the waterfront and brand new. Very happy to talk to you about that later.
Yeah, great.
But the only way it's attractive, I think I might be talking out of turn here for anyone here, any of the angels, is whether is to be involved in the company rather than just as a investor that you know. So for me today, it's not something I really understand. I'm very happy to do business with you, but I'm not really happy to invest today.
Okay.
Like John, I agree. The only interesting thing might be to come in as an equal partner with you guys.
Don't fancy that, Nicholas? I'm surprised. I thought you would.
Yeah, on this one, I don't. It's a lot of work. You know, serviced accommodation it's not a property business. You're not at this point. You're running a business. You're running.
Yeah, definitely. We're just trying to systemize it so that it does run as a business.
If you'd come in and said I want 100 grand because I've got 3 flats that I can do one after the other with the same seller, and we're going to buy them.
Right.
Refinance each one, do the next one, do the next one, because we've got a landlord that's got 3 for sale, and he'll do staggered completions on them, and I can secure that 100
We're
grand.
kind of looking at lease options that we've nearly got a couple on that with the same within the same model.
But-
So we
but
are
you
looking
didn't
at
come
that,
with
yeah.
anything concrete like that today,
Yeah, that's fair
and
enough.
for that reason I'm out.
Yeah.
As a little bit of advice, if you like, I think you guys are barking up the wrong tree. Service accommodation is great when you actually have built the asset and own it. And that's what we're doing at the moment. You own the asset, and if you're converting it for serviced accommodation, there are currently some fantastic tax breaks with super deductions, 130% capital allowances. If you've got that construction background, you really should be thinking about finding a site and bringing us a site that you've got,
Yeah.
and you plan to develop it as serviced accommodation
Yep.
units, and you've got 8 or 9 units all in one block, fantastic economies of scale, and you've got the
Spot
skill
on.
set in your group
Yeah.
to
yeah.
kind of make that happen.
Yeah.
And I think rent to serviced accommodation is a little bit of a shiny penny strategy that's touted out there, but I think you can do a lot better
I think you're better than that.
Yeah.
than that. But I'm out, but that's my 2 pennies
Yeah.
worth.
No, thanks for
But Ranjan, I think you're absolutely right. For
Oh, he
me,
agrees with me.
not ambitious enough, you know?
Yeah.
Not ambitious
Well,
enough.
it's a good tip for coming back next time, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
assume the reason you
Yeah.
haven't done the development piece is because you don't have the funds to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you'd
We
have come
do.
to us with a great little model in Brighton,
Yeah.
we'd have funded it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great little model in
Especially
Brighton.
Brighton.
Yeah.
Here's a conversion.
What are we talking about there?
Here's a conversion into 10 flats,
Yeah.
and then we're going to turn them into service accommodation.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your money will secure that block.
I think the business model can work. I'm going to make you an offer, but you're probably not going to like it. I would give you the 100 grand as and when it's required over the time frame as when you need it, but I'd want 50% of the company, because I'm giving you more than what the company's worth.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
And I think you're a bright guy, and I think this model can work, and I think I can help you make it work.
Yeah.
We're doing similar things in other parts of the country. I don't know whether you have the power to answer that offer
not
today,
straight away. No.
but it's something for you to consider.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. Well, much appreciated. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Jack, unfortunately, it sounds like it's a no today, but it's not potentially a no in the future, I think. And I think so if you come back on the show with a different format, if you like,
Yeah.
different offering, then I think you may well be successful.
Yeah.
So, Jack, thank you very much for coming
Yeah.
in
Much
today.
appreciated. Thanks.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for your time.
Thank
yeah.
you, Jack.
Good
Pleasure.
luck. Great.
Thank you.
So, Jack, how did we get on?
Yeah. Good. Good.
What happened when you walked in?
Went through the business model and explained to the guys what we do and how we do it. There was some good feedback. I
Yep.
think some positive stuff. Some of the guys were saying that they've got blocks that they potentially look for us to manage for them.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
To take some units on there, so that was positive.
Okay.
And one of the guys said about taking our investment, but for 50% of the company,
Right.
which obviously not quite what we were after, but
Uh-huh.
it was good. It was a good experience. They said potentially we should be looking more at developments.
Right. Okay, so you got some really,
So
really
some good feedback, yeah.
constructive
Yeah.
feedback there. Yeah. So we didn't get a deal then, I'm presuming.
No.
No. Okay. So what are the next steps for you?
Continue with growing our business.
Yep.
We're still on track to do some good things, I think,
Yep.
over the coming months, and then maybe focus more, like what the guys are saying, try and focus more on the development
on
side.
developments.
So
Great.
come back next year maybe and pitch a development. So,
Definitely. Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming
Yeah,
today.
no,
It's
it's
been
been
great
great, yeah.
having you, and good luck with
Yeah.
the business. Hope it goes really
yeah,
well.
thanks a lot. Yeah,
Thanks.
cheers.
Now, if I may say,
That is so frustrating.
it is frustrating, but if I may say to Paul, I think you really undersold your offer was actually great,
Fantastic.
because instead of leading with what you said,
Clever.
you should have. I think
He
you should
wasn't
have.
going to. He can't take. He's not going to.
No,
His
yeah.
business partners aren't
But
here.
you could have transformed his business because you've got so much stock
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
offer him.
And
He mentioned how long
I'll
it
chat
takes
him
to
after. I think
acquire
that could work.
properties. It takes
Exactly.
ages
If
to
I'm
acquire
just
each one.
giving him, because he says he needs 100 grand, but actually
You can give
he
him 100
needs
properties.
he needs
He just
2.5 grand per unit, and I just give
Yeah.
him that as he needs
He
it.
needs 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
yeah.
Something like that.
That's all he needs.
Bit
10
of
grand a
working
month.
capital, yeah.
And if you were involved, Paul, I'd be happy to give you some at the waterfront in Ipswich. I'd be delighted to help. I would. And also, I'm also thinking now of our deal that we're doing together in Birmingham, and thinking, you know what?
Exactly right. That'd
They
work
are a
perfect.
fantastic location for that, aren't they?
Yep.
You know what? I think 50's too high for anyone. especially when you've got 3 partners. If you,
Yeah, the problem is
if you'd
it's-
gone in
yeah.
at 25 and
This-
said there's 4 of us, you know, or 30 because
I
you want a bit of
originally wrote
majority.
down 25, but actually I'm giving him, you know, it's
So
more
much.
than double what
You're
the business is
bringing more
worth.
to the table than that.
I mean, he's
I
going to
know,
take. They're going to
it
take
is,
forever
but
doing what
they're
they're
not
doing.
going to do it. So
Yeah.
Paul can
you've
fast
got
track
to
it.
decide if you want
Paul
it or
can
not.
fast track it.
Joanna, welcome to Property Elevator.
Oh, hello. Thank you for inviting me here. It's a real pleasure.
You're very, very welcome. Where have you travelled from today?
Oh, I came all the way from Sevenoaks, from Kent.
Okay.
And yeah, it was a good drive.
Tell us about the deal then that you've brought.
It's a large property in Devon
Okay.
in a beautiful setting. And there are 2 shops and 2 uppers, 6 units altogether.
Okay,
6
so
flats,
mixed use.
Mixed use. And well, I'm hoping to convert them into holiday letting.
Which is a really popular choice at the moment,
It is.
given everybody having staycations. And
That's right.
brilliant.
That's right.
So how much money are you after from the Angels today?
£445,000.
And is there anyone in particular that you want to back you today, or
No, I'll be happy with absolutely
happy with anyone?
all of them. Yeah, all of them.
Oh, well, good luck.
Thank
My
you.
fingers crossed for you.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'll have a little
yes.
chat to you when you get out.
Next, we've got Joanna coming to see us. She's got a development or investment deal down in Paynton in Devon. Shall we get her in?
Yeah, let's hear about it.
Joanna, thank you very much for coming in today. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and about the deal in Paynton that you're bringing us?
My name is Joanna Whittaker. In my previous life, I used to be a travel marketing manager for destinations and for hotels. So during the lockdown, I dedicated my full time to property development. I've done a few properties quite well, I hope, or I think, in the past, and now I really love them so much, the projects, that was one thing that I really wanted to do. So I've done lots of self-educating, watching the videos that Ranjan's been
Ranjan's
putting.
video. Ranjan's.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
We've got away with it.
We've got
almost
almost
done
done
it.
it. We've got away with it till now. And all of a sudden, look at his
That's
little
in my
face.
Bible.
Look at his little face.
You've made his day. The amount of money he's put into
Absolutely.
marketing that in the last year.
He deserves all the success you get, don't you, Ranjan?
So now I hope that I've got a really nice deal to propose for you.
Excellent. And tell us about that, please.
It's a large property with 6 units. There are 2 shops on the ground floor and 2 flats above each of the shops. So it's there are existing apartment flats at the moment, and shops are, one of them is an antique shop and the other one is used as a workshop. The location and the building is so beautiful that they would be perfect holiday homes.
So the 2 shops, can you explain exactly what the 6 units would be? So there's 4 existing flats at the moment.
Yes, and I was hoping to convert the shops into accommodation as well, into habitable accommodation, because from the 1st of August, there is a new PD rights coming that I would be able to convert shops or commercial property into residential.
And what size units would those be?
At the moment, I'm hoping for 1 bedroom.
Okay, and the existing 4 units that are there, what are they?
So there's a shop, there is and I'm not sure which one is 1 bedroom and which one is 2 bedrooms, because I was only being told by the estate agent that basically there is one 1 bedroom and 1 2 bedroom, but they wouldn't clarify on which one is on the 1st floor and which one on the 2nd. So I need to check that one.
Possibly the 2-bed on the first floor, because usually you might have restricted height on the
Probably,
top floor.
although there is no loft per se, so it could be either.
Do you know how big the floor plate is on the ground floor shops?
Not off the top of my head, but there are plans available, so I could check that very easily. So we can fit that with the 37 square meters for accommodation needed per unit.
I mean, this looks like a conservation area, isn't it?
It is.
So one of the issues there with the PD, because if it's not in a conservation area, you don't have to ask anyone. You know, you can convert the ground floor shop into residential. If it's in a conservation area, then you have to do an impact assessment on the viability of the shopping scene on the high street and all of that. So that is an element
I think
of
they would have
doubt.
to check. There have been other properties that have been well, maybe not converted, but they don't have the shop anymore. I haven't done the background information yet because I've had very short amount of space to actually do the research, and I didn't want to rock the boat too much.
Okay, that's a good sign that others have done it. I think the other area, the more important area I wanted to explore, were the GDVs of each flat.
Paignton is kind of a mix of very expensive properties and the properties that have been built or created in the Victorian era, and they've not been very much changed. So they are brilliant size, but they do need TLC.
The problem you get when you have GDVs at the lower end is that although you can under PD do all sorts of stuff, it's whether it's worthwhile to do so with such old buildings. So your refurb budget, is that focused purely on making the 2 ground floor shops into flats, or were you planning on reconfiguring the upstairs flats, or pretty much just painting them and tidying them up? I
wasn't thinking about reconfiguring them. I was thinking about just bringing them up to modern standards.
That's
so
fine,
changing kitchens and bathrooms
yeah.
and modernizing them rather than reconfiguring.
I'm with you, yes.
I mean, it's slightly unfortunate that you've got commercial on the ground floor, because they're never quite as popular as obviously if there's more residential on the ground floor. And if and when you can change that on the ground floor, that would obviously increase the value of the ones upstairs as well. Remind me of the price you want to buy this at.
305,000.
Yep.
I haven't renegotiated yet because I wasn't sure.
No.
I mean, I can't do it all by myself.
No, we understand that, and that's why you're here, and that's absolutely fine.
Right.
You know how long it's been on the market for?
It's been since end of April.
That is a good sign.
So you mentioned you've got another holiday home, a 4 double-bedroom holiday home 5 minutes away.
Yes.
How long has that been going? And the pictures look lovely, so it looks like you've done a great job there.
I bought that in November last year. I bought it because, opportunity arrived. It was off the market, and I knew somebody told me about people who wanted to move back to Scotland, and they basically were selling. So the price was right, the location was perfect. It's 5 minutes from the beach, and I needed a project. So I took that as a project, and it took me maybe nearly 3 months to actually redo it completely. But I've actually put lots of heart and thought into that property, because it is a terraced property, and it's got parking spaces. It's got 2 parking spaces, which right next to the beach, next to the seafront, is quite unheard of or rare.
With the existing units, you've got some rents here. Are they already let?
The ones in the property, they are let currently, but I don't know much about tenants. I would insist on buying it.
So 445 or thereabouts, purchase, build costs. I assume the build costs are based on something similar. You said you've done something similar nearby,
exactly,
right?
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. And are they actual quotes from those builders?
I can't get exact quotes.
Are you not sure of the size or anything, are you?
Until they get access to the property.
Is there any reason you weren't able to get the floor plans?
I can get the floor plans. They are available.
No, fair enough. It's just obviously how far that goes back. The size of the units
They're
is
good
pretty
size.
important.
I mean, there are some pictures of the living room and the property, and the living rooms are very spacious, so they go quite deep back.
And you mentioned here that you can get a mortgage for 228,750. What's that based on?
It's the 75% of the 305 of the asking price. This is, again, if we renegotiate, it will be a different value. But this is just to give an idea of, I can get a commercial mortgage.
Makes sense.
Mortgage or finance, and then remortgage once we change the use.
That makes sense. I assume you'd be open to funding it through whatever means makes sense.
It's a possibility. There is a cost associated, of course, but it's an option.
It seems to me like you're somewhat interested in keeping them.
At the moment, the market is very hungry for holiday lets. Everybody's staying in the country. Everybody's looking for amazing properties.
Because it's a great country to live in and holiday in.
Unless you could buy this super quickly, you're going to kind of miss this summers, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
But then there is Christmas coming as well, and there is it's quite a popular place for autumn. And then between half term and Christmas, we've got lots of people who don't have children or have children who are not of a school age, and they come for quite often with their pets to go for a long walk on the beach where they can't walk during the summer.
I'll tell you
And then
what,
Christmas.
excuse me, it's some beach, this isn't it? I mean, with
It is sandy beach. It's the only
Yeah.
sandy beach in the area,
Is
in
it?
the
Right,
in the
okay.
English Riviera,
well,
because Torquay is Pebble
Torquay
Beach.
is the English Riviera. We're pushing it a bit, I think, to say Paynton is, but I've been there. I have been there. I'm not.
Bournemouth's
there's
quite nice as well.
All no disrespect to anyone in Paynton who's watching, by the way, but
Is that what your current place is renting for? Those approximate rents?
Yes, there are the precise numbers. My background is in travel marketing, so yes, I'm that's why I know what people want to buy and how to market it to get a maximum return of maximum price.
But your existing one is a 4-bedroom one, right?
It is, and it's suited for families as well.
Sure, and these would be 1 and 2 bedrooms.
Yes, there is a higher demand for 1 and 2 bedrooms, in fact.
Okay.
Even a single family. My house is very popular with 2 families going together or with bigger families.
And the numbers that you've got on the last page, so where you've looked at the average per night time divided by the 50%, so that's 50% occupancy.
That's correct.
Yeah. And then times your 6 flats. So that is assuming that you definitely get the 2 on the ground
That
floor.
is assuming, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, that looks like a massive yield because you put annual profit averages. But is that gross or net?
If we put it through Airbnb or Booking.com
Uh-huh.
at a price, yes, there will be management fee on top of that, and there will be some costs associated with that. But this is just for illustration. It all depends how many properties there are listed, and they've got a staggering ladder. But agents normally take about 10-15%. So we're talking about, I don't know, up to 40% or between 30 and 40%.
Is that what your agent's charging you for an Airbnb? That's cheap.
That is.
I think that's
Usually 20 to 25% for a short term.
But then
Well,
I've negotiated well.
well, you have negotiated well. I'm impressed.
But that doesn't take into account kind of any
Costs.
management
No,
or any. Yeah.
You'll have the actual Airbnb and Booking.com costs.
So
Yeah.
what do you think those figures are?
I'm just taking the most conservative one, but it does assume the 6 flats. That's 37%, but that's gross profit, right? So
20%.
yeah, you're lucky out. You've got to halve that, right?
Still interesting. Very interesting.
I mean, there is also when the staycation is not as popular anymore, it's possible to sell them.
What have you got value in for the 1-bedroom flats?
About 100,000.
I'm glad you said that, Joanna, because I think that's absolutely right. Because of the ones I did some research on, which were property was in an auction that we were looking to buy, and I was disappointed how low the flat values were, and it was around 100,000, 110 for the purpose-built, PD, but office PD. So I'm sure you're right.
Yes, these ones I expect that they will be very popular with people who want to buy a second home because of the location of it.
And do you think if you don't manage to if you have to retain the commercial on the ground floor, do you think that's going to have a great effect on holiday lets or not?
No,
you don't think
absolutely
it matters to
not.
people?
I think we just have to be careful how we're going to, who's going to be at the ground floor, but it can add value. If it is a nice artist, or I
never thought of that. I mean,
because the area is already changing.
I don't know the answer to this. It's not a trick question. Do you know if Paynton has managed to get the 25 million town fund?
Yes, they've got a redevelopment fund.
They've got the fund, 25 million town fund, which is a great, by the way, the government have given it to 67 towns across the UK. Of course, most of them are Conservative, funnily enough, MPs in those towns, but that's just a pure coincidence. That's a pure coincidence, apparently. Funny that. So, okay, well, that gives me some more hope about it, because if you've got 25 million to spend, the government or the local authority have in that area, that's certainly going to give it a bit of a push.
They've got, in fact, a big project already in place, a redevelopment project, where they're going to revamp the whole seafront and make it much more tourist friendly.
Are you pitching this to us as a long-term joint venture proposition, as a holiday let business, or as a refurbish them and sell them on?
I would say either or. I'm open to suggestions. I think both options are as good as each other, So I'm kind of hoping that with your experience, you will be able to help to evaluate the best option.
Do you live in Paynton?
No, I live
Where
in
do you live?
Kent, but I've got a home in in Paynton. So this one is literally less than 5 minutes walk away from my home.
So you do have a home there, okay.
I do have
and
a
would you be
home.
managing it, or would you employ staff to manage it?
I do have an agent who manages it.
Oh, so they fully manage it?
It's fully managed, yes.
Wow, okay.
And these are I mean, that's why I know the numbers based on my home.
Sure.
But I do spend a lot of time being there out of season.
What's the planning on it? Is it C3 residential at the moment?
It is.
So would you need a planning up to, what, C1 guest houses?
Hopefully I will be able to talk about some PD rights. If not, I will have to put a planning permission for change of use.
Yeah, I don't think there's PD rights for...
It's interesting that, isn't it?
more
Because
than-
they're residential at the moment. So you basically got 4 flats that have got planning as as flats, presumably, and the shops are the shops. But interestingly, do you need to change the permission of the flats to let them out as holiday?
You would.
Do you or not?
More
Is that a bit of
I think more than 90 days. Well, actually,
Do you?
that's a London rule, isn't it?
That's a
Yeah,
London
so maybe
I
not
don't,
here.
I don't
You
think
don't have to do that.
I don't.
That's a good point,
someone,
yeah.
someone will be writing
have to
into
do
us
that,
probably.
yeah.
That's a London.
If we're
that's a
not
London
careful.
It's a
thing.
London thing. You don't have to do that with that.
I don't think you do.
I
In
think
fact,
Joanna's more of the expert here than we are. In the holiday
I think
lets,
it's
to be fair.
I've not had to write to anybody for permission for the house. I don't know yet about the situation with the flats, but it is a holiday. It's an English
Yeah,
Riviera.
they
It's a
expect
holiday
that use.
destination.
I know you
So
keep
even
saying
if
it's the
there's-
English Riviera, Joanna, but I'm
I
not
know,
quite
I
sure.
like that.
We all believe it. If you say it enough times, perhaps you do. We all
believe their son as well there.
And of course, if I do invest in this deal, I will also believe it too.
Or we put gazebo over the jacuzzi, and you'll be absolutely safe.
Oh, I'll be all over it.
Well, I say instead of a jacuzzi, just give residents a tin of beans a few hours before they come. That might be.
That's a very poor joke.
I know.
Your business acumen is much better than your comedic.
A couple of points I'd like to. One thing that people may want to know is that our good friend Rishi Sunak has introduced something called the super deduction, which actually applies to refurbishing accommodation for holiday lets. So you'd basically get 130% capital allowances on a big chunk of the refurbishment, provided it's going to be holiday lets. So that can change the figures in a positive direction.
Definitely.
Absolutely
Okay.
Brilliant.
So I think it's time we probably make our mind up on this.
I'm not sure for me that serviced accommodation is really where I want to go, but it sounds like a great area. That the investment that you've talked about is incredibly positive for the area. You seem to really know what you're doing. I would like those numbers to have been net rather than gross, but
I'll do that
best
next
of luck
time,
with
of
it.
That'd be lovely.
I like the proposition. I like short-term lets. We've got quite a few of them around the country. They work when done well. I just don't know the area at all. And from what I can glean from what John said, it's not quite the French. It's not quite the British Riviera, and certainly not the French Riviera.
Definitely not French, no.
So I don't think it's for me, just because I don't know enough about it, and it's well away from any of my other property interests.
I would be more interested in a in and out type of proposition, a sell-on proposition, as opposed to a long-term hold. But for me to do a sell-on, I just find the end values a little bit low to want to get involved.
Your timing's very good, by the way, Joanna, because I'm actually quite interested in the holiday letting market, and we're trialling it up in Derbyshire and other places. We've got properties, so I think your expertise is very impressive, and actually, I think I'm going to make you an offer. However, before you get too excited, it is based on being able to purchase the property for £250,000, not the 305 they want. Now, it's been on the market since April, so I think there is a possibility we could do that.
I haven't spoken about the price yet because
You've
I
done the
don't
right
think I
thing.
was in the right
Absolutely.
place at
I know.
that time.
I agree entirely with you. So my offer to you would be on a holiday basis. I'll put all the money in and the refurbishment money in, and I would want 60% of the deal, which leaves you 40% of the net profit or net rental on an annual basis, if we can buy it for the right money.
I will definitely try to negotiate the price as low as they will go, of course.
Of course. So that's my offer to you, and I've got other properties that you can help me with as well,
Brilliant.
hopefully.
Thank you. That's brilliant.
I'm particularly interested in your skill set and your ability to do these. I like the fact you've got one in the same town around the corner. You know the area. I'm going to have to trust that because I don't. How do you pay yourself at the moment? Do you take a salary from your business, or how are you getting by?
I take salary from my business.
From the existing 2 properties you're...
Yes, the properties do pay, especially now when they're fully booked.
To run a successful business and be successful, passion is one of the biggest drivers. So I want to buy into that. I want to make you an offer. I'll offer you, for the full funding needed on the site, 50% of the profit, but I want to invest in your business doing this.
Thank you.
Once my money's returned, I'll drop to 40%.
That's fantastic.
I'll leave you a minute to have
I'm
a think
thrilled.
about both those offers.
I'm gutted, probably, but anyway, there we go.
I'm sure I can find another house for you.
So, Joanna, I think
Bear in
it
mind,
sounds
I
like you've...
offered based on the business. So
Yeah.
we're
It's
expecting
sa-
to build a
it-
business, not just one deal.
We'll set up another company. I didn't say that.
It sounds... It sounds
Can I
like...
trust this lady?
Joanna, it sounds like you've already made your mind up, but just have a good think
Thank
about
you.
it, because you're talking about 2 very different types of people. Nicholas has his benefits, of course. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I also have a little bit more experience. So in certain things, not particularly in the business he deals with, I accept that. So just have
Pick the right person for you.
a quick few seconds just to think about it and then make your decision.
I came to the room to look for a business partner. This is just one of the properties. I believe that I can find lots of deals, and the deals are out there, loads of them, and they are absolutely amazing. What I'm lacking is I would say the financial backing definitely, but the experience of how to make the most out of them. I know what I can do to convert them or to change the layout or design or things like that, but there is lots more in property that I'm still learning. Is the business longevity that I'm looking for, definitely.
And your decision is?
I don't know. I think Nick's decided to invest in the business, so I'll trust him on that one.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Thank
Well
you so
done.
much.
Thank you.
Really
Well
looking
done.
Thank you.
So, how did you get on?
Well, it went very well.
Yeah.
I got 2 offers,
Amazing.
which I'm absolutely thrilled
Yeah.
with, and I've decided to go with Nicholas because it's the hope for longevity, for building a relationship and a business together. So I'm
Amazing.
really, really thrilled.
Oh,
Thank-
congratulations. So you swayed with Nicholas. Did he give you like a better percentage in the deal, or was it purely because of his experience?
It was about investing in business and wanting to build a longer relationship.
Yep.
So I came here looking for a business partner, for experience, for support, not just for one-off project, which obviously it will be absolutely amazing if I got just funding
Yeah.
for one house.
Yeah.
Getting a proposal for a longer relationship is absolutely made my time.
Amazing.
I'm thrilled.
Oh,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you
yeah.
very much.
The long-term goal is always what to aim
Absolutely.
for, hey?
Happy with that?
She was
awesome.
impressive.
Play nicely.
I'm gutted that I wasn't a bit more ballsy than that. But you have got more business acumen in that respect, I think. To be fair, Nicholas, she'll be better
Very
with
kind.
you.
She needs a bit of work, but she's got the
Yeah,
passion
I
and
probably
she's going to
should
do the
have-
work.
You know,
No, you
I
took
was
the
a-
right punt actually on the business. That was a good
that's
move.
yeah. He's
That's
done it
quite
again
obvious,
to me. He did it
actually.
last year, and he's done it again.
'Cause-
in the
'cause
last
that-
series, he's
To me,
done it.
that deal, if we can convince a valuer of the GDV's anything like she says, it's a no money down deal in 3 or 4 months. No money left
I
in.
agree. I mean,
And then
needs
she
to-
runs it and it's all
needs to
profit.
come at 240, 250.
And I get my money back and get
which is by the way,
Gee, so even at those
40 odd thousand a
half
pop.
those
half that.
yields.
1 year. 1 year I've got it back, right?
Happy
If
days.
that's half right.
Painting is okay. Parts of painting are fine.
Can't cut
I
that.
mean, it's like it's an old-fashioned seaside resort. So, and it's having a lot of
Yeah.
money pumped into it.
Yeah,
So
if they've got that
I think
funds.
your timing, Nicholas, is absolutely fine. And if you don't mind, if she can help me on the one in Exmouth, I'll be grateful.
Yeah, of
Within
course,
your
John,
new
of course.
company, of course.
Sounds like she's going to set up a new company with you anyway. She's already broken my exclusivity agreement.
She seems very decent and very honest.
She does.
And
She
I
sounds
think you've
lovely.
done very, very well.
Wow, what a day. This series has shown that opportunity really is everywhere in the UK for people and their property investment journey. All it takes is hard work, determination, and sometimes a little bit of help from our angels. We'll see you next time on Property Elevator.